Good morning, everyone. I'm George, Digital Consultant at Digital CDL, and I welcome you to this fourth lesson of the second chapter of the course. Starting in the 1960s, as human relations theories gained traction in the US, a distinct intellectual movement emerged in Northern Europe, especially within the UK and Scandinavia. This movement came to be recognized as the socio-technical approach. The Tavistock Institute of Human Relations, and later the National Institute for Working Life in Sweden, were its major contributors. At its core, this perspective views organizations as open social systems that continually engage with their surroundings. Organizational performance is shaped by individual and group behaviors, which are in turn influenced by an interplay of technical and social factors within the organizational context. Organizations, from this viewpoint, aren't entities that can be strictly designed. Instead, while technology doesn't dictate organizational dynamics, it can enhance them when synergized with other factors that shape individual actions and group interactions. Grounded in socio-technical insights, innovative organizational and technological models were conceived. Notably, Volvo in the 60s reconsidered the traditional Fordist production approach, opting for modular assembly spearheaded by autonomous multidisciplinary teams. Central to the socio-technical approach is the emphasis on the social group as an essential unit for organizational study and a key planning variable. This perspective aligns with the beliefs of human relations theorists. Organizations shouldn't be seen as rigidly designable mechanisms, but as dynamic social systems. In these systems, human and social elements collaborate with technological aspects to influence individual and group behaviors. The juxtaposition of socio-technical and human relations theories against classic Taylorist views resulted in a pronounced ideological divide. This divide was bridged only recently with the advent of the so-called contingency theory. This theory posits that there isn't a singular best model. Instead, as proponents argue, it depends. Everything is contingent upon the specific context in which an organization operates. It's essential to tailor organizational configurations to align with both internal coherence and the specific characteristics of the external environment. Such alignments should be derived from empirical evaluations of organizational actions and outcomes, rather than from rigid ideological standpoints. One of the notable contingent factors is technology. Joan Woodward, through her study of 100 British manufacturing firms, underscored that organizational decisions often correlated with the technical intricacy and mechanization level of the production process. She found that mass production scenarios favored Fordist organizational structures with pronounced specialization and formalization. In contrast, single or small batch production settings were better suited for flexible and informal organizational designs. Researchers from Aston emphasized that organizational decisions should be tailored based on company size. Other thinkers, like Lawrence, Lorsch, and later Hofstede, shed light on cultural and environmental impacts. Chandler, on the other hand, showcased how business strategies influence organizational decisions. Mintzberg offered a comprehensive classification of contingent variables, listing age and development phase, size, technologies use, characteristics, member needs and aspirations, regulations and guidelines, stability, intricacy, diversity, and adversarial nature of the external environment. And he added, prevailing organizational trends. Organizational decisions should be made considering a combination of these factors, ensuring both internal coherence and alignment with the specific context. Key organizational dimensions to be considered include task specialization, both horizontally and vertically, training and indoctrination, behavior formalization, organizational unit clustering, size of organizational units, mechanisms of connection, systems for planning and control, horizontal delegation, vertical delegation, To achieve organizational effectiveness, two conditions are vital: internal consistency and external consistency. Out of all viable organizational configurations, the one that empirically aligns best with an organization's specific situation should be chosen. The overarching sentiment in all contingency theories is the absence of a single best way. Instead, based on key contingent variables, a few coherent models should be identified, with the most fitting one selected based on the prevailing circumstances. The emergence of contingency theories positioned organizational study as a genuine empirical discipline. Nonetheless, the lasting influences of both classical and human relations schools persist, shaping our understanding and interpretation of organizations, sometimes leading to unproductive ideological debates. Thanks for watching. See you next week for Lesson 1 of Chapter 3.